Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to talk about evaluating functions. So my function that I'm going to look at is going to be of the form f of x equals 3x squared plus 5. Now, I want to be very clear about the input argument or the independent variable. So in that case, we're looking at x as the independent variable. So I'm even going to write that in a different color. So f of x is 3x squared plus 5. Okay, so suppose I came up to you and said, hey, figure out or evaluate f of -1. I'm going to write that -1 in red, just so that we're really emphasizing what is the input argument. So, if I want to evaluate f of -1, I need to substitute x equals -1 into the equation. I need to put in the -1 wherever I saw an x. So I'm going to have 3. That stays the same. Then, instead of x, it's going to be -1 squared plus 5. That didn't change. And I can go compute what this would be equal to. Turns out this is going to be, well, let's see, order of operations tells me to work on my exponents first. So -1 times -1 is a +1. So I'm going to have 3 times +1 plus 5. And then 3 times 1 is 3 plus 5. It gives me 8. All right. Let's crank it up a notch. Suppose I asked you to find f of pi. So now my input argument is pi. It looks harder. It's actually not harder. It's the same game. It's called substitute in for x. So we're going to have 3. Instead of x, we're going to have pi squared plus 5. And if we wanted an exact answer, we're done. So this is my exact answer. I haven't rounded or given any decimal approximations, so we're done. All right, let's make it even harder. Let's look at f of x plus 1. And again, let me write that in red so it's really clear. It's really emphasizing what is the input argument. So I want to evaluate f at x plus 1. Same game. I'm going to substitute in an x plus 1 wherever I previously saw an x. So I'm going to have 3 x plus 1 squared plus 5. And if we want to work this out, again, doing my exponent first, I'm going to have 3 times x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus 5 off the back end. Now I need to distribute my 3. So I'm going to have 3x squared plus 6x. And then let's see, plus 3 plus 5 is going to give me plus 8. All right, I'm going to make it even harder. And this might be a good time to pause the video and see if you can do this next problem by yourself. So the next problem says, okay, find f of x plus 3 plus 2 minus f of x plus 2. And it looks like kind of a mess, you know, but it's not. We just have to go through each part very, very carefully. And I recommend a couple of things. First of all, just like I've used the red color here to emphasize my input argument, you might want to do that on paper. Using color, maybe underlining, you could underline your input argument there. You could use a highlighter. I think that really helps distinguish what you need to substitute. And the other thing that I'm going to recommend here is that we work down the page. If you work across, it's very easy to lose things, but if we work down the page and keep everything lined up, we won't miss any of these +2s or square brackets. We'll just keep everything lined up just like we're doing our taxes. Okay, so here we go. First thing I'm going to do is f of x plus 3. Okay, so I need to plug in an x plus 3 wherever I saw an x. So previously I had 3 times x squared, but now I'm going to have 3 times x plus 3 squared plus 5. Right? That was all my original function. I did that. Then I've got a +2 hanging off the back, so I'm going to copy that down. Minus big square brackets, f of x. And here, I know that my only input argument is x. So basically it's copy-paste, right? They already gave us what f of x is, so I'm just going to copy that over. That's a 3x squared plus 5. And we have this +2 hanging off the back end, close bracket. So I've kept everything lined up. You can really see here the different pieces that I've worked on so far. Yeah. And then the +2s and the square brackets, everybody's lined up. I'm really certain I didn't miss anything. So now all that's left is some algebra. So let's go through this step very carefully. I've got a 3. Foiling out x plus 3 squared gives me x squared plus 6x plus 9. And then I have a +5 plus 2. That gives me a +7. Minus square bracket 3x squared plus 7. Distributing my 3 gives me 3x squared plus 18x plus 27 plus 7, and now I can distribute my negative, so I get negative 3x squared minus 20, that's false, I was just kidding, minus 7, there we go. Alrighty, looking good, and again, keeping everything lined up, working down the page helps me error check, make sure I didn't make any typos. Everything looks good, so let's proceed. 3x squared and a negative 3x squared cancel. In terms of x terms, the only x term in town is an 18x, so that's there. And now I've got a 27 plus 7 minus 7.